how to deal with our inability to resist temptation. Suppose someone is so weak as to not have the strength to lift even light objects. We won't condemn them for being so weak. We would insist that they urgently take the treatment that will heal them. We need a similar common sense approach on finding that we are internally weak. Inner weakness refers to our inability to resist temptations. Even temptations that seem easily resistible for other people, or even for most people. We may resolve to resist such temptation and fail to do so. When we fail in our resolution repeatedly, we may start condemning ourselves for being morally corrupt. By such self-condemnation, we may become so disheartened as to further succumb to temptation and start believing that we will never be able to resist it. And eventually just cave in to the temptation whenever it comes. Thankfully, Gita wisdom protects us from such a self-defeating self-diagnosis. It explains that no matter how corrupt our actions may be, we ourselves aren't morally corrupt. Why not? Because we at our core are always pure spiritual beings. We are parts of the all-pure divine, Krishna. 15.7 Mamaivamsho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana manahashasthani indriyani prakritisthani karshati. We succumb to him when we find ourselves, we succumb to temptation when we become disconnected from Krishna, who is the source of all pleasure. Indeed, the more disconnected we are from him, the more we become lurable by worldly pleasures. Our disconnection from Krishna is the essence of our spiritual sickness and is the cause of our inner weakness. The cure for such weakness is simply reconnecting ourselves with Krishna. For such reconnection, we need to cultivate a positive self-conception and persistent self-redirection. Positive self-conception means we need to remind ourselves that we need to focus on how we are pure, we are essentially pure, on how pure we are essentially, being parts of the all pure divine, not on how impure we are presently. And by persistent self-redirection, it means that we focus on expanding our connection with Krishna by infusing all our activities with a devotional service attitude. We focus not so much on whether we are able to resist temptation or not. We focus simply on whether we stay connected with Krishna or not. By this positive self-conception and persistent self-redirection, we will become increasingly healed. We will start experiencing inner satisfaction in our connection with Krishna, and that inner satisfaction will enable us to resist outer temptation. To summarize, see inner weakness as coming from spiritual sickness, not from moral corruptness. Focus on curing, not on condemning.